If I wasn't here myself, I don't think I would have believed it.
Yeah, I know. It's after 2 years, it's hard to believe that he's standing in the middle of that ring. I mean, after he retired and disappeared from Chaotic Wrestling and then announced his ownership with Chaotic Wrestling, I figured that was it. I figured he was just going to put a suit on, tracksuit that is, and sit in an office and make this happen, make Chaotic Wrestling happen. And it's like no one saw this coming. No one saw Brian Fury ever coming out of retirement to step in the ring one more time with one of the greatest champions we've ever seen in Chaotic Wrestling, JT Dunn.
And the image is still ingrained in my mind as it is yours and everybody else here when Brian Fury walked out at the end of Breaking Point. He hadn't got to the building until well into the second half of the show. He had been on a business trip, and when his music played after JT Dunn defeated Christian Casanova in that tables, ladders, and chains match, nobody knew what Fury was going to do, including you, me, and most importantly, our heavyweight champion, JT Dunn. And Fury basically said, hey, you're a great champion. And we love that you love to say that you are the greatest champion Chaotic's ever had, and it pisses one person off in the back. I instantly thought he was speaking of Chase Del Monte.
Me too.
I really did.
Me too.
And then I thought about the hiatus that Del Monte had been on, and that he wasn't even there. And for Fury to say, yeah, that's me, I was shocked.
Yeah, it's unreal to me to think that it was. I'm sorry, I was just captivated by what was going on here. It's just, JT Dunn has been on a rise as of late for a while now. JT Dunn is probably one of the most popular professional wrestlers in the Northeast and probably all over the world at this point.
Absolutely.
And he's in there with a guy who has earned the wrestling world's respect by showing and performing day in and day out for many years, and working that grind, and just showing how much of a technician, how great he is at what he does. And just to watch this match take place right now is it's just something I never thought I would see. But I don't know, I'm kind of lost for words here.
Yeah,
just want to kind of see this story unfold.
Well, you know Fury better than anybody. You guys
Yeah.
have been travel partners, adversaries, tag team partners, roommates, you name it. There's nothing you two haven't been through. Looking at leapfrog by Fury, nice roll through by the champion Dunn. Off the ropes again, leapfrog by Dunn, down he goes. One step ahead is the challenger, Fury. O'Connor roll off the ropes by Dunn, roll through, drop kick both men, and a standoff, a stalemate if you will. But I mean, you and Fury know each other so well, and to see him up there when he was in this very building, December the 16th of 2016, when it was Fury's final fight.
Yeah.
He and the gentleman standing behind us, the Golden Greek Alex Arion, who's here tonight to witness this match. I mean, this is something I never thought I'd see, and I kind of put myself on the Fury farewell tour, not only here in Chaotic Wrestling, but I think of Brian's 7 final matches that he had on the East Coast. I announced 6 of them.
Yeah.
There was only one that I had missed, and it was only because it was far out of state and for a promotion that I'm not affiliated with.
Yeah.
So for him to retire, and then a year later take over ownership of the company, who would have thought that he'd be back in the ring, Firebrand trunks and all?
No one saw it coming. It was completely a blind side. None of us in the wrestling world or anyone commentating or anyone associated with wrestling ever saw this coming. And right now we're going to get, we're getting a treat, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting 2 really, really good in-ring performers, really good wrestlers, have a just full-blown battle. And as I touched upon before, this really is going to test how good of a champion JT Dunn is, because it's like you said, Brian Fury is a former triple crown champion in Chaotic Wrestling, and that's not an easy feat. There's very few people to do so, and I mean that's something JT Dunn hasn't even established.
No.
You know what I mean? So the fact, if he can beat someone like Brian Fury, it would really do wonders for him. Not only in chaotic wrestling, but I'd say probably in the world.
And I think it speaks volumes to, one, the athletic spirit of one Brian Fury. He wanted this match, and you know, I know he didn't say anything to you, but I mean, this had to be eating at him for some time.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of keeps it quiet. If you haven't noticed, he's a very emotionless man. He's stoic.
You don't say.
But I'm sure, like anything, it's a bug. You know, wrestling is a sickness for us. And you can walk away. You can look at legends in the past. You can look at, you know, people in wrestling who've been around. It may feel like for too long. Wrestling's a sickness. And I'd be lying if I said I watch this stuff and I don't feel it myself. That there's times I want to get in there. Yeah, I know Brian Fury probably better than anyone in this room at this point. Brian was a guy that took me under his wing when I first started. And he was the only guy, he literally taught me, for the most part, how to become a man. Because when I'd just gotten out of high school, went right into wrestling, he saw something in me and took me under his wing. And I learned, like, everything. Almost everything I know to this day from Brian Fury. And he's the reason why, to this day, as much as it may seem like I have a chip on my shoulder, I feel like I can go with anyone. And I really do owe a thanks to him for everything he's ever done for me and everything he does for the future of professional wrestling. Right now, JT Dunn is not only going to test his fortitude, but may get a lesson or two tonight.
Yeah, and on the other side of that coin is our heavyweight champion, JT Dunn. And the thing that I think about most right now, oof, look at Fury just working the wrist and the appendages, the fingers, if you will, of our heavyweight champion, JT Dunn. I think back to January of 2000 and, ooh, no. There's that European style. And, you know, 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, these two did battle for the very first time in chaotic wrestling right here in this building. Uh-oh. Fury may have tweaked that knee a little bit. Maybe not. Oh, oh boy.
That's the Brian that I know.
And you hear the 603 chant, the area code for the state of New Hampshire.
Yeah, he likes to represent the state of New Hampshire. He loves New Hampshire very much. That's why he says he's New Hampshire's favorite son.
Yes. Full body slam. Fury now drops the elbow. Count of one from referee Kevin Quinn. And, you know, the funny thing was, all that time that Fury was not wrestling, he was still very actively training. And, you know, I'll pop into the New England Pro Wrestling Academy every time and again just to say hello to everybody, hang out with Brian for a little bit, but just to watch him. Yeah. It's just, there's so much passion still. It's just, he lives for training his students. His students have become a big part of his life. He gets to the point where he gets very choked up about it. And there's something about the last couple times I've been there, just watching him run through drills and working with certain members of the chaotic wrestling roster, certain students, favorites of his, and just watching him is just, he hasn't missed a beat.
No.
He has not missed a beat. No, he's not. And he's down for a count of two. And, you know, he's kept himself in good shape. In fact, he had put on a few pounds and then took off some substantial weight. And we all thought it was for the wedding. He just, he and his, the real boss, Nikki Fury, recently getting married, and everybody said, oh, he's just getting in shape for the wedding. And I think Fury had a little something else in mind.
Yeah, he definitely had something planned there. I mean, he's been working hard. He works out a lot. I mean, he publicly thanked Orange Theory online, and he's grateful for everyone who ever helped him get back through this journey and get, you know, back in shape. Power to him, man. I mean, I sit at home all the time. I'm a gamer. I like to just sit at home, watch wrestling, and do nothing. And if you've seen me lately, I'm not exactly the thinnest guy in the world. So, I mean, I'm not what I used to be. But you know, for Brian Fury to come back, he did, you know, put on that retirement weight. It's not easy to keep off, especially when you're used to being so active. For Brian Fury to make that journey, grind it out, drive himself all the way to this point here where he's able to go one-on-one with the Chaotic Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, who's been virtually unbeatable for 8.5 months now, is just, it's just unreal. It really shows how good Brian Fury really is.
Right on the jaw was that. Oh, another one. And Fury now starting to dissect JT Dunn. You know, we've spent the first 10 minutes of this match talking about Fury. You know, far be it from me to forget about JT Dunn. Well, the backstabber right there. But like you said, 8.5 months, this guy has been dominant. And with the exception of one blemish, one non-title loss that he was robbed on, nobody's been able to touch JT Dunn. Not Chase Del Monte, not Ilya Markopoulos. I mean, Christian Casanova had 3 different opportunities.
Yeah.
And he is like the next guy. He's the it thing right now. Casanova's had 3 cracks, and JT has always found a way to retain his title based on his experience, his conditioning, and his love for professional wrestling. He is exactly what he says he is. He is relentless.
That's the thing about JT Dunn. He's just such a great competitor. Like, he's just like one of those greats, you know, like Muhammad Ali, you know, Mike Tyson, Conor McGregor. Like, he's like one of those guys who he can figure out his mistakes and can quickly adapt. Like, similar to Mayweather. Like, he can go one round, he can start the beginning of a match, and the guy may get the best of him, but he instantly starts learning that person's timing and learning their specific movements and how they carry their body, and he's so quick to quickly adjust right on the fly.
Right.
And that's how he's able to, you know, make these adjustments mid-match and, you know, basically catch the win on every single one of his opponents in the past.
And JT Dunn, not the biggest guy in the locker room. He's 188 pounds. He's our heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
But that also speaks to the way professional wrestling has changed.
Yes.
The heavyweight champion is no longer some 300-pound guy, you know, that with you know, pair of black trunks and black boots, and you know, this isn't the 1970s.
Yeah.
The days of Bulldog Brower and Ivan Putski and Ivan Koloff and guys like that are gone. It's a much different style. It's a much different business than it was years ago.
Yeah.
So like I said, JT Dunn at under 200 pounds, he has to adapt to other styles.
Yeah.
He's wrestled guys his size. He's wrestled guys he's slightly bigger than, but he's certainly faced plenty of guys that are way bigger than him.
Yeah.
Now he's in there with, well, somebody that he really looks up to. You know, don't forget that first match JT Dunn had with Brian Fury in January of 2016 in this building was not even supposed to happen. That was supposed to be JT Dunn against Chase Del Monte for the heavyweight title. JT's had already cemented a reputation for himself as a top contender, much like we just saw with Willow Nightingale.
Yeah.
Top contender, comes in, gets a shot at the title. Instead, Chase Del Monte was injured. JT Dunn wrestled Brian Fury, and they put on a clinic for some 22, 23 minutes here. And who got the Duke? JT Dunn.
Yeah.
Now, they would go on to have more subsequent matches. They would actually go one-on-one 2 more times. This is the 4th time, lateral press kind of 2. This is the 4th time JT Dunn and Brian Fury have done battle.
Yeah.
They wrestled here. JT Dunn got the win. There was a rematch, and Brian Fury got the win. And then the last time these two battled was in Danvers, Massachusetts, and JT Dunn was victorious. So JT's got a 2-1 victory lead in this series, if you will, with Brian Fury. And if you don't think that doesn't set well with Brian Fury, that somebody's beat him more than he's beat them, you got another thing coming.
Yeah.
So think about it this way. If you're going to script the perfect movie, Fury comes out of retirement, defeats JT Dunn, wins the heavyweight title. Now you have to have the 5th rubber match.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the mindset that Brian Fury has right now. That's it. It's not just the title. It's getting one more victory over JT Dunn.
And to play off that, you had said that the way it went was one JT, then one Brian Fury, then one JT.
Yep.
I mean, tonight we could see that pattern continue. Brian Fury could easily end up, you know, making that swing in his favor, and not only be the owner of Chaotic Wrestling, but the heavyweight champion
For the 3rd time.
Yeah.
Big forearm by Fury.
Oh, I know what's coming here. Here comes the neck breaker.
Flames of the Firebrand. And down goes JT Dunn. And on top of all that history that we just spoke of, 2017 Chaotic Countdown, it came down to these two. Lawrence, Massachusetts, I'll never forget it. Oh, outside the ring goes Fury. Dunn over the top with the pescado. Drops Brian Fury down to the floor.
That sounds like a food. I'm hungry now.
Like I said, these two, the final two in the Chaotic Countdown back in 2017. And Dunn ended up winning that countdown.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, there's another thing that's probably stuck up Fury's, sideways. You know, he wants to defeat JT Dunn, and he wants to be heavyweight champion again. He's the owner of this company. He wants to be the champion again.
He's got a long way to go. It's like, I know Brian Fury, he was a really good champion. He's a great champion. He's a fighting champion, and he's a very aggressive wrestler. And watching someone compete and actually competing against them are two completely different things. I could watch, someone like Conor McGregor and feel like, well, I can probably take him. I have confidence in my abilities. But then you get in there and
you take that first punch.
Yeah, the saying goes, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face.
Right.
And I think, as you can see by Brian's demeanor right now, I think he's getting more than he bargained for against JT Dunn.
I think you're absolutely right. And now they're just trading. Actually, they're not even trading blows. Fury is just pummeling JT Dunn. And I can see Fury's mom in the crowd right now, chanting 603 as New Hampshire's favorite son continues to do battle with JT Dunn outside the ring. And I'll tell you, we're some 17 minutes into this match, and I think both men are just getting warmed up. I hate to say it.
Yeah, it really does feel that way.
And somebody has asked for the ringside area to be cleared. Either that or these fans are just staying out of harm's way as Fury is now draped over the guardrail. And JT now pounding on that canvas.
My God, I have not seen JT do what he's about to do in like a long time.
Yep.
If you watch JT grow, you've seen him do this.
Oh! Missed the leg drop, and I want to say he just went arm first, like right, the armpit just went right into the top of that guardrail. That's going to leave a mark.
His leg was draped exactly where it should have been.
Oh!
He usually drops over the neck. His legs landed perfectly, but his armpit caught his weight. I don't know what to expect here. Oh, my God.
Oh my God! Suicide dive through the top and middle rope into the front row goes Brian Fury and JT Dunn, all for the heavyweight championship. And I can see Mama Fury looking over, very concerned.
Always.
As her son just came crashing down onto JT Dunn in the front row. And this battle has turned an ugly page.
This battle has turned into a fight now. We are on the outside. Once you leave the competitive rules of the ring and you end up in the jungle out there, this is a fight.
You think you know professional wrestling? Welcome to lesson number 1. This is how the professionals do it, ladies and gentlemen. And we're seeing it right now with perhaps the most well-respected trainer in all of professional wrestling, Brian Fury, and one of the hardest working athletes I've ever had the pleasure of knowing in my 25 years, our heavyweight champion, JT Dunn. This is what professional wrestling is all about. This isn't the underground stuff, on the trampoline or in the basement or in some rented garage in front of 15 of your friends and family. This is the real deal. This is why this building is sold out, because our heavyweight title is on the line, and a former 2-time champion and the owner of this company is coming out of retirement to try and claim it for a 3rd time.
That he is. Right now, this match has been very 50-50. This match has been 50-50, back and forth. JT on offense, Brian Fury on offense. that move right there, that suicide dive to the outside into the crowd, might be the turning point. But just as I say that, JT with a rolling cutter.
Is that enough to put away Fury? 1, 2, and only 2. Only a count of 2. Kevin Quinn making sure that bell is not rung as we have entered over 20 minutes since the opening bell. And what a battle these two have had thus far for the Chaotic Wrestling Heavyweight title. Pandemonium is on the horizon. The winner of Pandemonium will go on to challenge for the Chaotic Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Who will be the champion come 2019? Big kick to the face right there. JT Dunn rolling through, see him favoring that right leg. Gets the boot up right in the face. Brian Fury now slumped over that top rope.
I don't think he's fully here right now.
Went for the big boot again. It's caught. Fury rolls through. Caught by Dunn. Whipped into the corner. Double leg dive. Going into the branding iron. The Boston Crab. Will that be enough? Look at the intensity in the eyes of Brian Fury. No submission, says referee Kevin Quinn. As JT crawls over, grabs that bottom rope, that's going to force the break. Quinn calling for the break, and Fury lets go at 4.
That was a close one. I've been in the branding iron. I'm still, like, to this day, my lower back still kills me. For every time I've had to be, I've gotten trapped in the branding iron. For JT Dunn, it's not easy trying to crawl through those ropes, ladies and gentlemen. So for JT Dunn to be able to get there after everything we've seen leading up to that point, kudos to him.
As an old man with legitimate back problems, I can only imagine what that has to feel like.
It's a house sitting. The worst part is it's not even that heavy, but it's just like the torsion of your back and spine.
JT
right
just
on top of the head.
Spin kick missed. Oh, that's a backhand right to the jaw. Fury went for the suplex. JT blocked it, headlock, a couple of elbows, and now puts his man up on the shoulder. JT. Oh, they just collided.
Headbutt.
Who's got who? Fury.
Move there.
1, 2, and not enough for 3. The interesting thing here, Julian, look at this crowd. All these fans, nobody's leaving their seat.
Nope.
Fans standing all the way around the perimeter of this building, and out of camera range, you can see wrestlers from the locker room. They're peeking through the curtain to our left. I can see Josh Briggs, clear as day, looking on from the front door right now. And when I was up there doing the intros, I saw more wrestlers. I saw Bear Bronson over near the concession stand. I saw Tasha Steeles. Like I said, we got Alex Arion behind us. Every wrestler that was on this show is out here one way or another looking on, because these two are showing what professional wrestling is all about. And it's a match like this that makes me absolutely love what I do and this sport.
And to top on that, a lot of his students from the past and the present are watching him perform and do what he does best, what he's teaching them to do to this day. So they get to see the magic of what could become.
JT is in a very dangerous position right there. He took a couple of shots that reeled him backwards. If he falls off that ring post, it's all over. Down goes Fury. Brian Fury now down on the canvas. JT Dunn, heavyweight champion, on the top rope. Frog splash. Fury tried to get up, could not get out of the way. And again, only 2. What an unbelievable battle here for the Chaotic Wrestling Heavyweight title. I'm only thinking about 2019. Will JT Dunn be closing in on 1 year as champion, or will Brian Fury be starting his 3rd reign?
It's literally up in the air, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we are currently shaking the 8 ball and waiting for an answer. It's unpredictable. It's unpredictable. I do not know what the outcome is going to be. It's any man's game. it's any man's game. I feel like these two feel like they've met their equal match, and I mean, right now Brian's hurt.
Yeah, Bryant is down. He took a hell of a fall off the top rope.
Followed up with that that frog splash.
JT Dunn now with the front chancery, chop to the chest. Fury slumps down into the ropes. You see Sami Lane looking on intently. She is emotionally torn as well. Brian Fury, trained by the late, super bad Steve Bradley. We just celebrated the 10-year anniversary of Steve's passing. I'm sure that had a little bit of something to do with Brian wanting this match. Oh, seen that before.
Oh, yeah.
Out of nowhere. Roll up by Dunn. Misses the kick. Does not miss that one. And JT sheds the elbow. Death by no! Dropped him right in the back of his head. And look at that, right into the Boston Crab. The branding iron, he calls it. The Firebrand with the branding iron trying to force a submission here on JT Dunn.
JT is desperately trying to crawl to that rope.
JT trying to get there, like you said, having all that weight down on your back. JT Dunn, I know, has had back problems in the past.
Oh, and he is sitting deep.
3 or 4 years ago, he was on the shelf for a couple of months with a nagging back injury. Oh, look at that. Trying to do a push-up, trying to crawl his way to the ropes.
Look at the bend of his spine.
And he makes it. That's going to break the hold. Desperation by JT Dunn making the ropes, but he can feel the heavyweight title slipping through his hands as these fans chant, "This is awesome." And you're absolutely right, Rich Palladino and Julian Starr calling all the action here. Chaotic Wrestling live in Woburn, Massachusetts. Looking at the stopwatch, going on 27 minutes since the bell rang. You don't think these two are finely conditioned athletes? Guess again, ladies and gentlemen.
These guys spent many days in the gym. Like I said, Brian Fury's been working hard. I know JT Dunn trains hard. Like, these guys have been training their rears off. And a fight's a fight, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care how conditioned you are. You start throwing blows, you start, picking each other up and slamming each other around, falling on the outside. You're not going to have all the energy you had 20 minutes ago.
Not at all. And I referenced Steve Bradley, Brian Fury's trainer. Like I said, we just celebrated the 10 years, celebrating his life. Oh, death by elbow. That's going to do it. 1, 2. No, he kicks out.
Wow.
And I bet you he's thinking of Bradley right now, as is Sami Lane, another trainee of Steve Bradley. What an honor to their mentor, their trainer here tonight. What Fury has become, one of the most respected trainers in the entire business today. Looking to capture his 3rd Chaotic Wrestling heavyweight title. JT Dunn, very frustrated right now. Can't believe it.
I don't know of anyone that's kicked out of death by elbow.
No.
I don't know anyone, so he should be shocked. He should be in awe, because everyone he's ever hit with that has been out cold. And that's actually how he is standing here as our Chaotic Wrestling heavyweight champion at this point.
And now look at the frustration. JT Dunn wondering what's next. He's got to be thinking of another elbow. And Fury really hasn't moved since kicking out. And look at that. JT pulling him up by the beard saying, "Stay down." JT Dunn, some 10 years Fury's junior, ran his mouth too much.
He did.
Fury's going for it again. Sits down, JT kicks out. Dunn charges, misses the boot in the corner. Kicks Fury off, roll through. Another sky-high power bomb. Kick to the face, kick to the chest, back kick. The educated feet of JT Dunn. Nice bridge, and only gets a count of 2. Death by elbow again. Fury crumbles in a heap, center of the ring. Float over, 2. No!
How?
You tell me how.
How?
I don't get it.
That was, after that entire sequence, somehow Brian Fury was able to escape that lateral press and at least get one shoulder off the mat.
Look at JT Dunn looking at Sami Lane. Sami Lane going, I don't know what to tell you. She is as lost as JT is.
Should be.
Over 30 minutes since the bell rang. 30 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Think about that. And listen to these fans chanting for Brian Fury and JT Dunn. We had the "This is awesome" chants before these two even locked up. And now JT almost serving Brian Fury's last rites. I think he's setting up for the 3rd death by elbow. And it's going to be the best one you've got, champ, because Brian Fury will not go down without a fight.
That he will not.
Dunn now. Look at him. He's just measuring. Just measuring, calculating.
He's able to hit that death by elbow not once but twice. There's no way Brian Fury has the energy. I'm pretty sure I can see a welt on Brian Fury's face.
Clean and sober kick. Another one by Fury. JT Dunn in a lot of trouble. Taken down, back of the head, hits the middle turnbuckle, and hard. You can feel it. Brian Fury, 2 years after his last match, looks like he just had his last match last night. He is just putting on an absolute clinic, taking everything JT Dunn has to offer.
You wouldn't think that Brian Fury had been retired for 2 years.
No.
He hasn't lost a step. There isn't a single thing in this match that would make you think that this guy was retired, that he walked away from his passion. I mean, this fight is just unreal to me.
Fury now going for the superplex out of the corner. Can JT Dunn withstand this? Down he goes. Hangs on to the head. A 3rd sky-high powerbomb, and only 2. Off the ropes, goes for it one more time, right on the back of his head. JT Dunn's in a lot of trouble, off the ropes, death by elbow! Fury did not even see it coming, and JT Dunn is slowly getting back up. He's looking the worse for wear, as is Brian Fury. Fury is stunned. His eyes are glazed over. Oh no! Laid him out. Hooks both legs. 2, 3.